All right, Drake Riggs here with Anthony Showtime Pettis, getting ready for the Gamebred Boxing 4 event, taking on Roy Jones Jr. in the main event, man. I mean, just very exciting, the whole concept of doing this. And back at home, I mean, which is more exciting for you, fighting at home again or fighting Roy Jones?
Bro, both of them. It's crazy, like, I haven't fought in this arena yet. I fought in the old arena, so, like, being here and being the main event is dope in my hometown. But, bro, fighting Roy Jones Jr., I mean, dude, he's one of the greatest of all time in boxing. And I'm actually boxing him, so it's like, I'm really testing myself in this one, man. And a lot of people are saying his age, but he has experience, he has the size. He's cutting weight for this. I'm bulking up to get to the 200 pounds, so I feel like there's a lot that's stacked against me in this one. I got the athleticism of youth, but he has the experience, so it should be fun.
And just how has like the bulking up been for you? Has that been kind of an easy process? I know obviously the most recent thing we can look at is like John Jones taking his time with it. Obviously different frames, you and John Jones, but like, how has that process been, I guess?
Yeah, I fight at 55. I fought at 45 before, but I'm walking about 200 pounds. My natural walking rate was probably like 190 going down to 55. So I wanted to get up to 170. I was going to move up. So I was walking around 205 right after the PFL season, and honestly just eating like whatever I wanted to just to put that weight on. And then when I started training, keeping that weight on, I was eating 3,800 calories, man. It was a lot of food.
Wow.
It was a total opposite of what I was doing before, like from 1,200 calories to 3,800 calories. And yeah, it felt good, but adjusting to that movement and that having that muscle on, running 10 miles with 200 pounds on you is way different than running 10 miles with 155 pounds on you. So that was the biggest adjustment. I think we made a smart game plan, for this fight, controlling the pace. He has the size, but I think in the clinch, I have way more tools than he does. He's never felt a guy, that understands the clinch, and I'm gonna have a little bit of stuff, in the clinch that he's never seen before. And then when it comes to the big punching power, I just can't be there. I got to make sure he doesn't land the big punches.
Yeah. Has it been hard at all for you training for something where you can't use your kicks? Because we always think of the Showtime kicks and whatnot. Has that been like a mental thing for you in preparation for this?
No, it hasn't, honestly. I think once you put the shoes on, you kind of forget about it. Right. And I've boxed before, and I understand what boxing is about and how to build up these rhythms and the angles and the science behind it. Because that's what boxing is. Boxing is like a marathon, and MMA is a sprint. MMA is like, get out there, create some chaos and land something in the chaos, whereas boxing is like you got to set things up, you got to set tempos, you got to set traps. So I feel like once you get into that mindset, you kind of forget about the kicks, because like setting these traps with your hands and avoiding the traps is a lot to think about.
For sure, man. And I mean, you speak it. The thing for Roy, like just doing the press conference and whatnot, mentioning the age a lot, and you just mentioned the experience. There's multiple ways you can look at it. So, like for you, and obviously watching him growing up as a legend, all these things. What is kind of, and I don't know if you're a guy who gets afraid for fights in general. Like that was the thing Stroni talked about a lot. Scared for every fight, and a commonest thing. Just it's fighting, right? But what is like the fear level, I guess, going into a fight with a guy like Roy Jones? Like, is that something that you have to deal with too?
Definitely, yeah. I'm not really, I wouldn't say I'm afraid, but I'm definitely nervous. I think the nerves come in, and it's like, I don't want to mess up. There's a lot of new stuff, like a standing 8 count. I never had the opportunity to do that. If I get rocked, hopefully I don't get rocked, but I had the opportunity to stand back up and, get my 8 count and go back to fighting. Whereas MMA, that wasn't an option. You get rocked, you're done. The ref stops it, it's over. So there's little things like that I'm thinking about. I'm having dreams. Actually, I had a dream that I missed weight. I was telling my coach. Like whenever I got to Milwaukee, I woke up and I was like, "Damn, I think I missed weight." Like I was like, "Dang, it's so weird." Just because I'm not cutting, so it's like I'm missing something of the week. Usually I'm so like every night you're like jump on the scale, every morning you're jumping on the scale, and this time I'm like about to fight in 2 days and I haven't even looked at the scale yet. So that's cool.
Yeah. So man, the last time we caught up, I think it was right before or after one of your Showtime events.
Okay.
And obviously here we're doing one with Jorge, right? Like not directly, but I'm curious, now that you're being a part of one of his things, like would you ever do like a co-promotion or something cool like that with another fighter?
Definitely, man. I think a lot of that stuff will be coming. The sport is so young, like a lot of the general fans, they see like even Roy Jones Jr., like a guy like him, he's paving the way for other boxers. Like there's guys that are a little older that didn't make the money that they should have made, that these opportunities are saved their lives, man. Like that's what fighters this is what we know. Like we give everything to this, so it's cool to see Roy Jones be the first guy to do and pioneering this. And if this has success, there's gonna be a lot of opportunity for a lot of old fighters, to come and do some cool cross promotion, and that's what I'm hoping for. I think if this has success and we can sustain this, the next card happens, more guys come over, more opportunities pop up. There's some good boxers that can fight some good MMA guys that people would want to see.
I know it's a great start to do it the way we're doing it here, and like man, any other dream opponents you have? I mean, Roy Jones, one you never could have even dreamt about, but like somebody maybe you can't imagine. Like obviously, got to start with this one, but this could be a great springboard to
Anderson Silva. I mean, that was one that I was supposed to get in the UFC right before he got Uriah Hall actually, but that was
discussed.
That was discussed.
Wow.
I called him out. He accepted, and it was discussed. And the UFC, didn't allow it at that time. They wanted him to fight Uriah Hall, but that was discussed. So I think
at 185.
185, yeah. I mean, I'm fighting this one at 200, so 185 would be ideal at that one. But Anderson Silva's one. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. That's another good one. That's doing the cross promotion. There's a couple guys that are already doing that kind of promotion stuff that would probably be easy to happen. But there's a lot of good boxers that I would love to fight these guys, bro.
Yeah.
Let's see how this weekend goes, and we'll see what happens.
I know that's very exciting now with knowing the history. But are you still contractually with the PFL too, or are things?
I have an option to. Well, I have a pay-per-view option with these guys, so I'm not going to be doing their season. The PFL season is no lie. That's the hardest style of combat sports there is, and I openly said it. Like making weight that many times, you got to be a dedicated motherfucker for that whole year to be a champion. So I have big respect to all those PFL champions out there. But for me at my point in my career, that's not the right format for me. It's making me look way worse than I was. Fighting with injuries and at this point in my career, I want good glorified fights, and I want to be healthy.
Right. And I mean, a good example of that is like looking at your Miles fight. That was starting off last year, and looked great
amazing,
in that one. Yeah.
Felt amazing, and then boom, go to the next fight. I had a broken hand. Then I break my next hand, and he beats me twice. I'm like, this is not. It's not conducive for where I'm at in my career, And I'm not talking shit, but I don't need the money like that. Where it's like, I got to do these fights. But in that format, if you pull out, season's over. So it was like, I don't want to put myself in a corner like that ever again.
Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely, it's a crazy concept. But
their pay-per-view format is going to do well. I think they're signing big names, and I think there's a lot of talk of some UFC guys that just left that are still talking about kind of over too.
Well, I got to blend these two together now, Anthony, and I'm sure maybe some other people have mentioned it to you, but with the PFL pay-per-view idea and whatnot, and you're boxing, Jake Paul's a part of the PFL now. I mean, it sounds like he's going to do MMA, obviously, with PFL. Maybe, who knows? He could box in the PFL, but I don't know. Is that something you're thinking about?
Fight me for his first MMA fight. I mean, if the PFL allowed it, for sure, I'd say yes to that. But I don't think he'd take me for his first MMA fight. I don't know if that makes sense for him.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But all right, man, last thing I'll leave you with here. I know that this is kind of a new beginning a little bit, and what you told, I forget who it was, sorry to them, recently, I think this week, that you're not looking at the end yet, but at least not sure about MMA. We'll see what happens here going forward. But I guess, are you thinking about the overall combat sports ending? I guess depending on how this goes, you're not sure about MMA return, you've been there, done that, man.
I know that it's coming, and I know there's going to be one day where I can't say yes to one of these fights. So while these opportunities come up and I'm still healthy and I still enjoy it, then I'm going to keep saying yes to all these opportunities. But I'm 36, man. I'm realistic, there is, and I've done so much in this sport. I've had a lot of fucking injuries, a lot of surgeries, and I got a wife that supports me like crazy, and I got to skip back and talk to her. But I think as long as I'm excited and I'm healthy and I can say yes to these opportunities, I'm going to keep saying yes to these things, man. And one day I won't be able to. And then when that happens, then hang it up.
All right, there we go, man. Well, we look forward to every time you're in there until that day comes, which hopefully won't be for a while. Yeah, so, all right, man, best of luck.